just want to ask you guys, what's been your biggest aha moment or realization being a dad? Something that you may not have realized until you became a dad. So I've got a couple. So number one is I didn't realize how flexible kids were. I thought they were really brittle, but they fucking bounce.
They bounce it, man.
Yeah, bro. That was incredible, man. That was like so incredible. That was the one realization. Number two, we had so all three births were water births, but then for breath, the eldest, Minnie had to come up and she could the contractions could happen, but then to birth had to be on the bed. And then it wasn't until Ocean, I didn't know this, but the umbilical cord is feeding oxygen, not just food. So when she's under the water, because she was under, and I caught, and I took my time, and I'm like, fuck, she's like fucking underwater, and I started to freak out, and then I didn't want to bring that energy to wifey, but my inside was going nuts, man. And then Ocean came up, and I'm like, and she just didn't make a sound. I'm like, fuck, I've drowned her. I was too like, and it's just like, just fucking cry, babe, just cry. And they were patting her. She just went like, it took age. It felt like an hour, but it was maybe like a minute. And she, and that was it, straight in the boob. But then after it all settled down, the nurses told me, oh yeah, she has oxygen through there. And that's what I was like, that makes sense. There's one other one. It's a little bit deep. So the third one is wifey and I, when he was born, we went through like a really big period of challenge within a relationship. We went and got relationship counseling. And I started going down a rabbit hole one day, changing breast nappy. And I was just like, man, if we don't get through this, someone else is going to be changing his nappy. And I used to be very insecure and jealous. And I felt all of this jealousy and insecurity come up with me as a man. And I'm like, whoa, this is interesting, because I haven't been, since I met my wife, I've really worked through that for like 7 years and broke free of that. But where is this coming from? And I started to look and inquire deeper. And what I realized, that it was coming from this place that I believed that I owned my child, that he was mine. And there's like, because he was mine, it's like, no one else can raise it. He's mine. And that was a really interesting pill to swallow, amazing realization. But then to realize that, man, he's his own individual self. All my kids are, that I don't own them. I just have this beautiful responsibility of being a custodian to help guide them into beautiful, good humans, and they've got their own path. That was a really cool lesson, man. It came through some challenging emotions I had to sift through. But yeah, I know there was 3 dances of like little aha moments I've had as a father. Conor, have you had any realizations, man, big aha moments in your fatherhood to date?
Yeah, some of those resonated with me, especially when you talked about changing his nappy, or someone else changing his nappy. I probably had to also realize that, again, not having him full time, that was going to be a part of his life, and other people were going to be a part of his life. But if I stayed open, that, my energy would always be with them. I think the greatest aha moments are that if you stay open, your kids can teach you so much. They can show you, they will mirror back at you. And there are times where you sit there and go, oh my God, that's me. Or,
especially in those challenging moments. Oh man, those defying moments.
Absolutely. It's like, right, this is your moment. Where are you really at, Conor? And if you're going to let a 10-year-old really fucking, show you what it is. But there's an acceptance to that. And I think, the humility to be able to sit there and go, that human, as you said, he's his own person, and he has unconditional love for you. That's the other aha moment, that they have unconditional love for you, and to respect that, but also to be open to what they can show you. Because I've had some of my greatest shifts from the kids, and especially as a blended family, I have had moments with both of them where it has really brought me back down to ground and really switched me out of something that I'm struggling with, or something where I'm in my head. They take me into my heart, and that's an aha moment that if you sit with, they can be your greatest medicine, your greatest teacher. And yeah, that's what I want to foster with my kids for as long as I'm around, because it is just the innocence and beauty of it, I think, is, changes your life. And I think staying open to that is just a thing of beauty.
Yeah, when you just mentioned, man, it's so beautiful when we as parents, I say we because I know most conscious parents are, we're doing our best. We're trying to like raise good human beings, and sometimes it goes awry and it doesn't work. But these moments where like your child acts or does that value or instills something, it's like, oh man, that 6 months, 8 months to try and do that. Breathy the other night, man. So Saturday night, Oak went through, had really bad croup, had to get an ambulance in and had to have adrenaline, all this kind of stuff. And Breathy woke up through that process and was being really calm with him so they didn't get elevated. And I said, yeah, Oakie's going to go to the hospital with mummy. He's okay and everything. Can you just wait in your bedroom and then I'll come get you in the thing. He went into his bedroom, came out with a little teddy. He's like, here, Okie, you can take this to hospital so you feel safe. I was just like, oh, dude, you kind-hearted, beautiful soul. Like in that moment was just above himself, being of service and just looked after his little brother. It was just beautiful, man. Like those magical moments of like those moments remind me just to keep going in the challenges, the hard time of like trying to enforce or teach boundaries and that kind of stuff. Chris, have you had any aha moments or realizations in these early 9 weeks, man?
Yeah, I think so. She's so smart. She is so smart. She's smart. She's adaptable. She's managed to enslave these 2 adult humans completely to her will in the few short weeks that she's been alive. So my partner Beck is, she's from the Northern Beaches, and she has this amazing informal women's circle of colleagues and friends that she used to surfboat row with and people that she's known and had in her life for a long time. And most of them are moms. So she's had this amazing group of women and powerful moms to draw experiences from and get coaching from. And we've taken ideas from this person and some of this, some of that, et cetera, et cetera. One of those ideas was this idea of, it's called EC, or elimination communication. So we're trying from a very young age to use cued parenting and just watch when Juniper looks like she's gonna go pee or go poo. And if we do it right, and if she does it right, she communicates to us that I'm about to shit or I'm going to pee, and we'll like scoop her up and take her to a sink, or we have this little top hat potty, or for a while we were using a hummus bucket, which was awesome. So we're like holding this little baby over a hummus bucket. But it's been this unbelievable opportunity to like have her brain engage with something and have her engage with us about something. And for all of us as a family unit and as individuals within that group to learn and grow. And, at the beginning, is this going to work? Like, she's so small. Don't they just like wee and poo all the time? Like it's, we have this idea that we're going to use reusable nappies, but we're still using disposables. And you talk about dad guilt. There's a little bit of environmental guilt. Like we want to get off these. So we're trying to do this EC as well as we can. But like, we're at the point now where, like, I know this kind of grunt means I'm going to pee, or this kind of grunt means I'm brewing up a poo, Dad. Like, you best get on this. And then there's this amazing moment of a little bit of personal satisfaction, but also like she gets it now. Like she pees and poos way less when she's not hung over a sink. And when she is hung over the sink, she'll pee, she'll poo, she'll do the whole thing. And she's 9 weeks old. So that's been, I hope that this is like a nice little trial balloon for so many other things. Like, it's taught me, give her all the credit in the world. Like, if you have an idea or if she's giving me something, receive it and then try to steer into it. Don't downplay her capabilities just because she's small and needs us to stay alive. She's an active participant in her life, even now at 9 weeks old. And I think what you mentioned, Blase, like it could be challenging at the beginning. Like there isn't a whole ton of feedback, but I'm trying to key on what little there is and then really steer into that and operationalize it for her benefit, for my benefit, and in the case of fewer nappies, the benefit of the world. So
Yeah, man.
big hopes, big dreams, right?
Yeah.
Saving the world one EC at a time.
those cues, man, for it was really interesting because especially when the kids couldn't communicate with words and when they were really little. My wife was the same thing. We invested in some motherhood courses and that. And one thing, this quote came to her, and it really landed for me, is that he's not giving me a hard time. He's having a hard time. Yeah, he said, because I would oh man, just feel that frustration, and it's just, ugh. And so he's not giving me a hard time. He's he's trying to communicate, and the only way he can communicate was that cries. And that was a really cool thing, man, to have that.